There are stars people notice immediately, bright, powerful, impossible to ignore. But there are others, quieter stars, almost hidden within the darkness, and yet ancient people told some of their saddest stories about them. One of those constellations was Andromeda. Across many lands, people imagined a lonely girl among those stars, silent, motionless, watching an endless black sea. And for thousands of years, people wondered why she had been left there alone. Long ago, beside the edge of a dark sea, stood a wealthy kingdom. Palaces were built from pale stone. Tall columns reached toward the sky, and at night the lights of the city reflected across the water like stars. There ruled the queen Cassiopeia. No one in the kingdom doubted her beauty, but slowly, beauty became pride, and pride became something dangerous. One evening during a great feast, Cassiopeia spoke words that would later change the fate of the entire kingdom. She declared that even the sea nymphs could not compare to her beauty, and that night, the sea heard her. At first, everything seemed normal. Waves rolled quietly along the shore. Fishermen sailed at sunrise. Wind filled their sails. But then, the water began to change. Storms arrived without warning. Ships disappeared. Fishermen stopped returning home. And at night, people began hearing strange sounds coming from the sea, as though something enormous moved beneath the water. Then the old priest said, "The sea has become angry, because the gods do not forgive pride." And then people saw it. During the fiercest storm of the year, something rose from the black waves, so enormous that at first people mistook it for part of the ocean itself. A massive shadow moved beneath the water. Giant fins emerged through the waves, and pale eyes glowed in the darkness. The ancient Greeks called it Cetus, the creature of the deep, destroyer of coastlines. Night after night it moved closer to the kingdom. Waves shattered against the cliffs. Homes near the shore collapsed. And slowly, people became afraid of the dark. The king finally sent messengers to consult the oracle. The ancient temple stood far from the city, among black cliffs where the wind never fully stopped. The priests remained silent for a long time. Then they spoke. To calm the sea, the kingdom must sacrifice Andromeda. Only then would the creature return to the deep. That night, almost nobody slept inside the palace. Servants quietly cried in the corridors. Guards avoided looking at one another. And beyond the city walls, the storm continued across the sea. The following evening, Andromeda was brought to the shore. Enormous cliffs rose above the black water. Wind pulled through her long hair. Waves crashed far below. And overhead, stars slowly appeared in the night sky. Silver chains bound her hands to the rocks. One by one, the people left in silence. Nobody dared turn around, and soon, Andromeda remained alone. Only the sound of the sea, cold wind, and the endless sky above her. Hours passed slowly. Waves moved beneath the cliffs. Sometimes Andromeda imagined something watching her from beneath the water. But most of all, she watched the sky, because there everything remained calm. The stars continued shining exactly as they had for thousands of years. And after a while, a strange feeling appeared inside her, as though the sky had not abandoned her, as though the stars were still watching. Far above the sea, a figure moved through the clouds. Perseus, slayer of monsters, defeater of Medusa. Some legends claimed he traveled through the heavens, wearing the sandals of the gods. Others said the stars themselves carried him through the sky. And when Perseus saw the cliffs, he first believed Andromeda was a statue. She stood so still against the stone. But then the girl lifted her head, and Perseus realized she was alive. At that moment, the sea changed. Waves began crashing harder against the cliffs. The wind became colder, and then the creature rose once again from the deep. Its enormous body moved through the black water. The cliffs trembled beneath the waves, and the monster's eyes glowed in the darkness. Even Perseus froze for a moment, because the creature was far larger than he expected. Much larger. Storm clouds swallowed the sky. Waves rose higher and higher. Perseus descended toward the creature. From the city, people could only see flashes of lightning above the sea. Sometimes a massive shadow appeared between the waves. Sometimes the silhouette of the hero. Steel struck against scales. Water exploded around them, and high above the storm, the stars continued shining, and finally, the sea became calm once more. The waves slowed, clouds drifted apart, and the creature disappeared into the deep. Some said Perseus had defeated it. Others believed the monster simply returned to the deepest waters of the world. But people remembered one thing: Andromeda survived. Years passed, kingdoms disappeared, palaces became ruins, but the story survived. The ancient Greeks said the gods placed Andromeda among the stars, beside Perseus, beside Cassiopeia, beside the sea monster itself, so people would always remember the night beside the Black Sea. And even now, if one night you find yourself beside the sea, far from city lights, and look up into the sky, perhaps you will see her, a quiet figure among the stars, lonely, peaceful, as though she is still listening to distant waves. And then you may understand why ancient people never stopped telling stories about the heavens, because sometimes the stars feel closer to humanity than the world beneath our feet. And perhaps that is why people love looking at the night sky before sleep, because among all the noise of the world, the stars always remain calm. They shine slowly above oceans, above forests, above quiet cities, exactly as they did thousands of years ago. And as long as they continue glowing in the darkness, the night never feels truly empty.